it is Studio Tuesday check-in. And see, look, I forgot. I missed a week again, and here I am. I forgot even what it's called. And that leads me right into the first thing. I'm just going to be honest. Like, my creative process requires a lot of flexibility. And I've mentioned this before, that the container has to have a little wiggle room. And I think what I'm finding here is that in my creative process, I try a lot of things on. And we try these things on, right, to see how our rhythm works with the rhythm of the world, the rhythm of the other things going on in our life, the rhythm of our offerings and services, the rhythm of our muse, whatever. We see how those rhythms line up, and we're looking for a harmony in that energy exchange, right? And how's it working for you? Well, the truth is like the Studio Tuesday thing is wonderful. I can have a span of 5, 6, 8 weeks where, yes, that works out. And then some weeks, it's like I have to be doing other things on Tuesday. So Studio Tuesday becomes Studio Wednesday. And so then the check-in video is not really happening on Tuesday. And then I maybe only get a few hours on Wednesday, but I get more studio time on the weekend. And then it's like, oh, well, I might as well wait till the next Tuesday. So it's kind of silly for me to say I'm going to do it each week. That really just honestly doesn't fit with the flexibility that I need and that I value in my schedule and my creative process. And I want to just say that to you too, so that you can continue to be flexible with yourself as you find the rhythms that work for you. And even as those rhythms work for a little while, you may start to see that they don't continue to work. And that is part of it. Things are constantly transforming with creative process and creative energy. So just follow what feels good for you. So that said, Studio Tuesdays are shifting. And I had this idea because I really do like doing these video check-ins. They feel really good for my process and and I've had great feedback from a lot of you, and that means the world to me. So that says, hey, there's something here that we're sharing that I want to continue, but I need to find a way that is more true, or feels more manageable with kind of the craziness of my creative business, creative livelihood. I like that better. But my creative business and my creative process journey, on a day-to-day. And so I thought, well, I think I want to do a First Friday thing with this video check-in. So, First Fridays, like right in towns, like art walk type things, galleries are open later, open studio type thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing is a First Friday of each month, I'll be doing a video check-in. Might be a little longer than 8 minutes, we'll see, but it'll be very true to what my process has been moving through for that previous month. As well as contain an invitation like I often do for your own practice or reflection. And then I'll be inviting people to comment, or if they want to respond. Oh, it would be so cool if people responded with a video on their blog too, or shared some art or something from the month previous in some way. There's ways we can let that grow if it wants to, but for me, it's going to be a video check-in on my creative practice on the first Fridays of each month that I'll be sharing. So I'm really looking forward to that. For Studio Tuesday, what's going to happen? I still want to do a reflection process because it's very powerful for me to do that. And I'll be honest, what I actually normally do, my natural organic method, I guess, is to paint, create, working in color, visual, and then I like to sit down and write. That's what I do. That's how I reflect most honestly through my process. And so Tuesday nights, rather than making a video, I'm actually going to write my love note to my newsletter, my mailing list, my readers, hundreds of readers on there. And I really want to offer them something that is from that energized creative process. So most Tuesday nights, I'll be writing a little love note to my readers that they'll get Wednesday morning when they wake up. It'll be in their inbox. And I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of that has also come from my time reflecting on community, what type of community and feeling I want to evoke in myself and with others that receive my offerings from me. So that feels really more intimate to me and more in alignment. And if you've been with me on my mailing list, you know that too this year has also been a place where I've been trying things on and nothing has felt quite right. But I'm finding this real rhythm with my writing now, and the writing after my visual creation. So I feel like this is really going to fall into play and work with this idea that I began with these videos. So that said, what's going on? There's other things changing and lighting me up. One thing that's not lighting me up is that there will be some website changes this weekend, most likely. Not lighting me up at all. If you have been with me, you know that there were some website changes earlier this year. And I wouldn't be doing this if I have to. If I didn't have to, I know. It has to be done. So this weekend, slight visual changes on the website, and hopefully that's it. It's past Mercury retrograde. Please send me good juju for that. Spectrum 2015 is lighting me up. Spectrum 2014 continues to light me up. We have 2 more PDFs for this year's journey, and then an extra month or 2 to complete the work to the best that we're meant to. But 2015 is evolving as well, and I'm so excited. It feels like this beautiful combination of what Spectrum became on its own this year. It became this whole entity of its own with such rich and full offerings from all the contributors. And then 2015 now is somehow bringing in more of that original seed, that original vision that I had that drove me to create Spectrum. And that original vision was really kind of around this idea of what would it feel like to have a workshop offering that was like walking into a holistic creative center, where artists and healers and visionaries were sitting around together and sharing their offerings and wisdom. And we were exploring that with engagement. So that's what 2014 felt like, and 2015 is moving into even more diversity with that vision. So I'm really excited about that. And it will go on sale in January. So the people coming and hearing the call and giving a hell yes to it, it's beautiful. I can't wait to share more with you. What else is lighting me up? I'm looking at my notes here. Relate. Oh, this month. 20-something women have moved through Relate with me this month, a 28-day contemplative creative women's circle practice. So the emphasis is a daily practice that is a solitary practice. And it has really been resonating well. Something's been happening between my intention for them and how that's been transmitted that is in alignment, and that feels so good. They're seeing and they're feeling the power of a daily practice, and that's amazing. And within that, they're also coming up to the cycles that we move through when we take on a practice like that. So like 2 to 3 weeks in, I see this across the board with people, that 2 to 3 weeks in, we start to feel discomfort. We start to feel even like strong messages from our bodies specifically. Often things we've been ignoring or things we've put off paying attention to, all of these things, they start to surface and rise up. And they become part of the work of it, the soul work of it, and also part of the transformation, the place where we can really begin to cultivate and tend and nourish the quality of our experience, the quality of our life. So potent work has been happening in Relate, and that really lights me up and feels really good. And I've been, throughout the course of the month, while holding space with them, creating a prayer painting, which I'll be sharing on the blog in just a few days. So that's my process. It's from my heart, and so that has felt really good as well. Let's see, I told you about the mailing list love notes going out weekly, Studio Tuesdays becoming First Fridays, and you're invited to come play along if you like. November last year, I did a celebration of Arts and Health Month on my blog, daily blog posts for Art Heals. And I considered doing that again this year, I'll be honest. But when I really sat with it, I decided that I need to honor this idea of Art Heals and celebrate it in a way that really brings this into the way I'm living. So in my own life, I need to be centering in on the way that I'm modeling this deep belief and faith I have in the healing power of creative expression. And so what that looks like for me right now is slowing down and not taking more on. I've had a highly activated year, a lot of new things happening, and what I feel the call for is to be more in my home, to be more, with my loved ones, my family, to be more outside, less screen time. So I'm listening to that, and I will be doing my own practice as an Art Heals celebration. I'll be doing a medicine wheel practice with the 4 facets of a holistic way of being and perspective. So I'll be spending consciously 1 week with the mind, 1 week really paying attention to my body, 1 week really paying attention to my spirit, and 1 week really consciously working with place and energy. And that will be my Art Heals journey, and it's going to be, again, more inward. And perhaps you'd like to create your own journey with that as well. I imagine that much of what I share in the love notes of my mailing list will be feeling some of that reflection from my journey through that for the month of November at least. So you could always kind of join me in that way there if you'd like to bring that into your consciousness. I'm really looking forward to that. In December, I intend to keep a relatively quiet month as well, not as much on screen time. I've got things working under the current for next year, and I need to continue to have my hands in that, but also to be in the season. And this is a busy, energetic season. It's a time when so much grief can come up for us. A time when we feel the winding down, but also the anticipation of the new year. A time when we feel ourselves being called to retreat into the winter months if we're in the northern hemisphere. So listen to those seasons and cycles in your life, and I'll be doing the same. And what I do share at the blog and that will be coming from that place, and what I end up painting and that will be coming from that place. And I'm really excited to see how that feels and what comes of it, but letting it be what it's going to be, whether it's a lot or a little. And so I want to say real quickly something about these birds I have hanging on the wall. And this is my invitation for you. I did this a few days ago as a way to see what I've been creating this year. Sometimes I forget. I forget what I've done. And I think that I haven't done much. And I tuck them away in folders and boxes and whatever. They get moved around and they're out of sight, out of mind. And I'm like, oh, I'm not making enough. Like as if that's true. I keep a daily practice. That should be enough. But still my mind forgets. So I decided this year, with the new year coming in a few months, and in this time of going inward and reflecting upon all this activation of the year, that I would start to bring these things out and put them on the wall kind of as a celebration for the next month or two of what it is I've been working with, and this idea of bird medicine and spirit medicine has been a big one for me. And there's a lot of them. You won't be able to see them all, but they're all over this wall here too. And it's wonderful to do that. So what I invite you to do is to think of how can you celebrate your journey this year in a visual way. So maybe you get to hang pieces on the wall as well, or maybe you pull out your art journals and you take an evening and you light some candles and the journals you've been working in, or your written journals even, and you sit and you do just a reflective honoring as if you're viewing them at a private exhibition, and just really honor that journey you've been taking in some way. Or if you're on screen, if you're on Pinterest, you want to have a secret board or a public board where you begin to pin from your own images. You can load those, or you pin from your blog or your Facebook page, so that you can see all on the screen this beautiful storyline. A visual storyline of what has had meaning for you this year. What might that look like for you? And how would it feel to see that in succession? Reminds me of contact sheets in photography school. And there might be, like, in a contact sheet of like 35 millimeter film, there would be maybe 1 or 2 images, if you're lucky, that were really good and worth printing. But I always thought there was this incredible beauty in the whole contact sheet, because you saw the moments between the moments. And it really told the story of a journey of seeing. So how can you visually honor and celebrate your journey of seeing and feeling and experiencing your life? So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.